And here's the thing, guys, and I want y'all to understand this. Colorado isn't just going to beat Nebraska on Saturday. That Colorado offense is going to annihilate the Nebraska defense. They're going to have their way with Nebraska. Shedeur Sanders is going to be able to do whatever he feels like doing out there. Woo! Man, oh man, you better get your popcorn ready for this one because it's going to be interesting to say the least. Man, oh man, mama, there goes that man. I don't know if I'm more excited to do this preview or the Alabama-Texas preview, which, by the way, we're going to do on Thursday. As most of y'all know this, don't act brand new around here, but if you are new, I will inform you on Thursdays, that's when we do our previews. Sundays, we do our recaps. But however, with Colorado being such a big topic right now, and with me honestly believing their game deserves its own preview itself, that's what we're going to do tonight. We did it last week. I think you guys like that format, so we're going to do it again. Hold on. Pause. We'll get back into the video in just a second. I just saw this on Twitter. Somebody tweeted at me, yo, keep up the great work. Been subscribed to you on YouTube. Hashtag Matt be bald. What? Now I got people tweeting at me. Hashtag, he didn't even say Matt be bald. He put hashtag Matt be bald. Come on, man. What are we doing? How are you going to say some nice words and put hashtag Matt be bald at the end? Oh my goodness. What have we come to? But let's get back into the video. The premise of tonight's video, rather simple. We are going to preview Nebraska, the Cornhuskers, the miserable and sorry Cornhuskers versus the Colorado Buffaloes. As much hype as the Alabama and Texas game is going to get, I'm going to let you know up front, as an Alabama fan myself, I'm also as excited for this game as I am for the Bama one. And I told y'all in the offseason, don't care what anybody says, week one, the game I was looking forward to the most wasn't LSU and Florida State, it was Colorado. I can't speak for you, but I can speak for myself. I cannot get enough of the Colorado and Deion Sanders show. It's must-see TV. I can't turn away. What Deion Sanders has done for the sport of college football, it is awesome. It's brought so many new people in. It reminds me of Tiger Woods when he was coming onto the scene in golf. I'm not going to go as far as to saying Deion Sanders has saved college football, but he's brought a lot of new eyes to it. And I think that's fantastic and that's awesome for the sport. But getting on track here, you guys, you know what happened last week. I had the bold prediction that Colorado, they'd be leading at halftime. Remember, everybody's like, Matt, your prediction was way off, and not so fast, my friend. I predicted Colorado at halftime to be leading against TCU 20-14. What was the actual score? 17-14. So I was close. The only thing I was wrong about is I stated I thought TCU would just pretty much run all over them in the second half, and that did happen on offense, but Colorado's offense, they didn't slow down, and they got the best of them. And to make an extremely long story short, I was wrong in this prediction right here, and unfortunately for me, I guess fortunately for y'all because you got a good laugh out of it, I had to shave my head bald. That was a bet. I said it 4 or 5 months ago in the offseason. I was so confident that TCU was going to beat Colorado. I said, you know what? I'll put nothing on the line for y'all. I'll put everything on the line for me. If Colorado upsets TCU, I'll shave my head bald. And Colorado won. I was wrong, and you guys were right, and yet again, I'm going to say this over and over and over. It's not that I didn't believe in Deion Sanders, but it's more so of I didn't believe in him enough, if that makes sense. As bad as my predictions were in week one, and they were awful, here's the good news. It's a new week. We got a fresh start, a fresh slate of games, and I am 0-0. I have a golden opportunity to redeem myself, and that's what I'm going to try to do. I'll tell you this much before we even get started. My opinion on this Colorado team has changed drastically. Let's get straight into it, though. As far as it goes for the game itself, I currently have no idea what the line is. I do remember last week I looked at it, and Nebraska was a 9.5-point favorite, and that shocked me. Right now, I'm going to pull it up, and I would say off the top of my head, I assume Colorado's a favorite. Yeah, I got to pull it up right here, and yep, I was right. Colorado is currently a 3-point favorite. Over the next couple of days, it's going to fluctuate anywhere from 2 to 4. You're not going to see it get too much lower or higher, but I do believe Colorado will remain the favorite. This game will be played at 11 a.m. on Fox, and hold on. Before I go any farther, I just got to say, Gus Johnson, he's got to be one of the most underrated commentators out there. He's the definition of electric, and he makes football on Saturdays 10 times better. I just wanted to say that because when I hear his voice, it gets me ready for the games and love everything about him. He's great at what he does, so I want to give some recognition there. Let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about Gus Johnson? Anyways, getting back on track here, we're starting our Saturday morning out right at 11 a.m. Cornhuskers and the Buffs. I'm going to circle this for you right here. You're going to see, and everybody's going to take notice of this, especially your casual fans. Nebraska is 0-1, and Colorado is 1-0. And I know he's just sitting there saying, Matt, I already knew that. Why are you bringing it up? My friend, calm down. Let me explain. See, most people out here, here's what they're thinking heading into this game. Oh, Nebraska, they're still the same old Nebraska as last year. They can't finish games. They're 0-1. They couldn't even beat Minnesota. But as a person who watches film and as a person who watched the game, I'll be quick to tell you, I think a lot of people got the wrong narrative about Nebraska. Let's not act like they weren't beating Minnesota pretty much all throughout that game and they blew the game. If they would have got a 4th down stop at the end of the game and wouldn't have thrown an interception, they'd be 1-0. My point is, they're a couple plays away from this being a 1-0 matchup. And I feel like the whole entire vibe around this game would be completely different because at this point in time, I think the casual fan out here and the normal fan isn't even giving Nebraska a chance. On the flip side for Colorado, what's most people thinking? Man, Colorado, they're on fire. They just upset TCU. Coach Palm's real deal. They're legit. They're in the top 25. Yep, I got Colorado winning this game. I see everybody out there. They're eating up this money line. Everybody's like, yeah, I'll take the over and give me Colorado. But, and I have a really big but, you better believe this, I'm going to remind you, Nebraska only lost by 3 points, and Colorado only won by 3 points. Colorado and Nebraska are both a couple plays away from this being flip-flop. Nebraska being 1-0 and Colorado being 0-1. Here's my point I'm trying to get at with this. When you're making your prediction for this game, don't look at the record and don't just look at, oh, they won or lost their first game. You need to look at this game like it's 0-0 because these teams, they played in 2 close week 1 games. So I do want to make that clear. Now, first things first, let's start out with the Colorado offense. This is going to be a pretty good matchup because Nebraska's defense, they played good in week 1. Yeah, I'll be the first person to tell you they played Minnesota and Minnesota doesn't have a great offense, but rather less, they held them to 3 points all the way up until the last minute of the 4th quarter. I would say right now, Nebraska's defense is just as good, if not better than TCU's, which isn't saying too much. But it's a good matchup, right? Because Colorado just scored 45 and Nebraska held Minnesota to 3 points until a minute left in the ballgame. So that's going to be something to pay attention to. But regardless of Nebraska's defense, I don't even think they have a chance of slowing down Colorado and Shedeur Sanders. No way. I expect Shedeur Sanders to have a complete field day. I would be more than shocked if Colorado doesn't at least get 30 points. That's at least. I think Colorado, their offense is not going to skip a beat from last week. The biggest X factor in this game, it's not Colorado's offense, it's not Colorado's defense, and it's not Nebraska's defense. It's Nebraska's offense. That's the X factor, because let's be honest. I'm going to ask you guys a serious question. Don't we know what to expect out of Colorado on both sides of the ball? That was the one thing I was right about heading into the TCU game. I told you Colorado's defense is going to be subpar, they're going to be trash, and the offense is going to be really good. And I think it's more than fair to say I was right about that, right? And I'm still currently right. Colorado's defense is subpar. I'm not going to call them trash, but I'm going to call them subpar. They're below average. And honestly, if you were to label them as bad, I could hear you out. But I don't think they're bad. I just think they need some time to gel, if that makes sense. But overall, all in all, let's make a long story short here. Colorado's defense, not good. Colorado's offense, really good. So that's not really a question mark there. The question mark is, and if you watch this Nebraska game, you know this, is the quarterback situation and the offense. You see, the difference is Colorado has one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Shedeur Sanders, and Nebraska has a terrible quarterback situation, and they don't have a good quarterback. I don't know if Nebraska can keep up with Colorado in this game. I tell you this much, you score 10 points like you did last week, you're going to get blown out. For those of y'all who don't know, Nebraska's quarterback is a transfer from Georgia Tech who goes by the name of Jeff Sims. And he had not 1, not 2, but 3 costly turnovers in that Minnesota game, and he's the main reason they lost. If Nebraska had a quarterback who just literally didn't turn the ball over, they would have won. He had a costly interception in the end zone that cost him 7 points, or at bare minimum 3 points, and also the game-losing interception. I hate to put the blame on one guy, but it was Jeff Sims' fault. But here's the thing with that. As bad as I think Jeff Sims is, as much as I don't believe in Nebraska's offense, Colorado's defense is worse than Minnesota's defense. So I really wouldn't be shocked if Nebraska goes out here and they move the ball up and down the field at will and they score some points. At the end of the day, though, I always pick the team with the better quarterback more times than not. It is very rare for me to pick a team with a lesser quarterback. That's only if they have an outstanding defense or outstanding weapons surrounding them. And here's the thing with that. Even if Jeff Sims plays good for Nebraska, they don't have weapons. Colorado has weapons, and we know that. You know who I'm talking about. Do you want me to say his name? Okay, I'll say it. Travis Hunter. But not only do they got Travis Hunter, they got a stud at the running back position I should have talked about some more yesterday, and that's Dylan Edwards. And oh yeah, they also got Wilkerson, who's the running back. I believe he came, I could be wrong on this, but I'm 99% sure he came with Deion Sanders from Jackson State. And oh yeah, can't forget to mention Jimmy Horn Jr., who's going to be one of the best wide receivers on the field, and so is Xavier Weaver. It's just like, man, when you look at this Colorado offense, they got some dudes. And it goes back to this. Remember Tom Luganbill saying, oh, Colorado's got one of the worst rosters in the country? I still can't get over that. That was one of the most idiotic takes I've ever seen. He had to be saying that for clicks and views. That makes no sense. You could argue and say they got a top 20 offense in the nation. And remember, what was my biggest concern, question mark, red flag, whatever you want to call it, heading into the season? The trenches, the front seven. I was concerned about the front seven and defensive line because they had a lot of turnover and a lot to replace, and also concerned about the offensive line. Could they hold up? Could they protect Shedeur Sanders? Because you can have Tom Brady back there, but if you don't give him time to pass, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans. But against TCU, yeah, the offensive line, they allowed some tackles for loss and a couple of sacks, but overall, they held up. And that's the thing with Shedeur Sanders back there, you don't even got to have the best offensive line unit in the country, just kind of be decent at best. And Colorado did that. As long as they give him some time, as long as they protect him for the most part, 80% of the plays or 80% of the game, they're going to be all right. I think there's going to be one player for Colorado that they use in the rushing game and the passing game that's going to just destroy and annihilate that Nebraska defense, and it's Dylan Edwards. You saw it against TCU. I think you're going to see it again on Saturday. They use him in the rushing game and in the passing game. Against TCU, 6 rushes for 24 yards, 1 touchdown. Not bad. That's 4 yards to carry. But in the passing game, 5 catches for 135 yards and 3 touchdowns. Pay attention to Dylan Edwards. When they get him matched up with a linebacker out of the backfield, they throw it to him every single time because they can't keep up. He is a mismatch waiting to happen. And also another reason why Dylan Edwards gets freed up so much is because all the attention in the world is on Travis Hunter. I love me some Dylan Edwards. I love me Travis Hunter. I love this Colorado offense. I love Shedeur Sanders. He's one of the most intelligent quarterbacks in the nation. Always makes the right play. And that's why I'm rolling with the Buffaloes in this game. I would be more than shocked if this is a close game. I got Colorado, the Buffaloes, winning this game in easy fashion. It's not even going to be a sweat. 35-14. And here's the thing. I don't expect Colorado's defense to play that great. I just don't think Nebraska's offense is going to move the ball, and I think they're going to struggle. Maybe they don't. Maybe they get it closer to a 35-21 game, but I'm very confident with that. You know what? Hold on. Let's do it. Yeah, let's change it. 35-21. I will give Nebraska the benefit of the doubt, and I don't think Colorado fans, you'll mind too much. That is my final prediction. Colorado 35, Nebraska 21. They'll score a touchdown late to make it seem closer than what it actually was. And here's the thing, guys, and I want y'all to understand this. Colorado isn't just going to beat Nebraska on Saturday. That Colorado offense is going to annihilate the Nebraska defense. They're going to have their way with Nebraska. Shedeur Sanders is going to be able to do whatever he feels like doing out there. If he wants to dink and dime his way up and down the field, he'll do that. But if he wants to throw a 70-yard bomb to Travis Hunter, he'll also do that. I hate to break the bad news to Nebraska fans, but you gonna get this work, whether you like it or not. It's kind of like when the varsity scrimmages the JV in practice. Does the JV actually want to scrimmage a varsity? No, but it doesn't matter. They gonna get this work regardless. I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts down below. Do we have anybody predicting Nebraska to win this game? I'm sure we do. And let me know your scores. But I'm sticking with mine. I'm very confident in saying 35-21. I like that score. Seems very respectable to me, and there's more things I could say, but I'll leave it at that for now. Let me know your thoughts down below. But